Holy moly, you feel better? I'm gonna miss this. In the fall of 2023, I took myself to Nepal and did the Everest base camp trek with ProTrek Adventure. It was tough to say goodbye to Millie, but I knew I'd be seeing her soon, especially after all the training we had done. I took off on a Saturday morning, headed to Atlanta first, then drove over to Birmingham to see the kids and the grandkids and hang out for a few days before I left. It was great to be able to take them to school, hang out, and just have fun. Went back to Atlanta on Wednesday morning, late September, had lunch with my good friend Neil Brock and his wife Callie, and then headed to the airport, waiting for my flight to Qatar, first stop Doha. And I've never been on a 777 before, and that is one very large plane. The airport in Doha is amazing. If you've never been and you think you're going to connect through the Middle East, Doha is definitely a stop that you should do. Millie and I had to hang out for about 10 hours, so we walked around, saw the shops, some of the displays, had a beverage before boarding our flight to Kathmandu, and we did get upgraded to first class, which was quite a treat. Millie wanted to watch Must Love Dogs, had a little champagne, and the 4.5-hour flight went quickly. Getting into Kathmandu, the trip over to the hotel was, yes, very busy. Lots of cars, lots of scooters, and lots of motorcycles. Welcome to Kathmandu. The room, a couple of twin beds, bedding incredibly comfortable after not really sleeping for 48 hours. Got in here yesterday afternoon late into the bed, and I think I nodded off for about 14 hours. It was so good. I think I'm sharing a room tonight, but it was certainly nice to have a room to myself last night, considering how tired I was. Did go upstairs, had a quick dinner, came back down, got right back into bed. So all's good. I'm getting ready to head out, explore the city, do some walking, and looking forward to saying namaste about 1,000 times. Yeah. You have a good day. I'm going to have a good day. ProTrek Adventure put us up at the Hotel Barahi in the Tamil district, which was very, very nice, and I highly recommend it. The Barahi, like most of the hotels that the outfitters put people up at, is in the Tamil district of Kathmandu. On my walking tour of the Tamil district in Kathmandu, cobble streets, narrow, you'll see a lot of the remains and what they've done to prop up buildings from the earthquake in 2015. But there are shops after shops, restaurants after restaurants, and I was able to engage with a very nice young man who did a walking tour through that Tamil district in Kathmandu. Extremely crowded. It was a Saturday. Lots of dogs, lots of cars, lots of scooters, lots of wires too. You'll find shops that do sell gear for trekking and for climbing. One must be careful though with some of the shops. Counterfeit gear is abundant, and you will find out quickly how poorly it's manufactured. So buyer beware. I took all of my own gear, and I felt that was the best way to go. How'd you like to be able to fix that one? Pigeons are also abundant. The river was interesting, to say the least. There are shrines everywhere, and my walking guide did a fabulous job of explaining various things about each shrine that we walked by. All in all, I would guess we spent probably 4 hours together, and I can tell you it was 4 hours well spent. I tipped him nicely. I highly recommend cruising around and having a guide if you can get one. Here's an example of what the earthquake in 2015 did and what someone did to try to prop it up. More wires. Construction at its finest. Stupas and museums everywhere.
Yeah, this is the Maya Devi temple when Buddha's pregnancy, like Buddha's mother pregnancy giving birth to Buddha by arm. She hang like that. You can see the top of there is a she hanging like Maya. It's a Maya Devi temple. And two Buddha, two monks and priests to bless the temple.
My walking guide, Timmy. And yes, that is meat out on the street with dust and the elements. It was really a lot of fun to see the culture of the Nepalese people, what they do on a weekend, and I'm sure every day of the week. The garment district was extremely colorful. Shop after shop after shop. Millie and I got back to the hotel, had a Budweiser. We met Sandeep. The hotel staff loved Flat Millie. And the rooftop pool at the Barahi was fabulous. We switched hotels the night before we left for Lukla. Had a briefing and was presented with some lovely scarves. 1 a.m. wake-up call. And that was the box lunch they gave us. I think it was the largest box lunch I'd ever had. We had a 3.5-hour trip to Ramachep where we waited for our airplane. Probably took about 5 hours before we finally boarded. Ramachep is a small airport that during the peak seasons of March, April, and May, as well as October, November, and December, flights go out of Ramachep to Lukla instead of Kathmandu to Lukla. It was finally time to weigh our gear. I was overweight, so I had to pay some rupees, and it wasn't too bad. Our boarding passes were fairly simplistic. It was fun to watch the planes come in and the planes leave. Dawa Sherpa was our lead guide in our team just before we boarded. After watching many videos on YouTube, I just could not believe I was finally getting on a plane. And yes, I got in the front left seat and was very excited to be able to commandeer that position on the plane. Time to board. And yes, one seat on each side of the fuselage. Our flight attendant did inform us that there would be no photographs or videos to be taken out the front of the aircraft. I was kind of bummed, but hey, just happy to be in that front left seat. The trip to Lukla only took about 20 minutes. Cloudy day, so we did not get to see much of the Himalayas in the distance, which was a bummer. But what we did get to see, the scenery was just spectacular. Now as we come into Lukla, starting to get a little bit real. Touchdown was beautiful. Sorry about the scratches on the windows. As we got off the flight, we met our porters for the trip, who gathered our bags as we headed over to one of the tea houses for lunch. Those are our porters, and a beautiful tea house that we had lunch at prior to our departure for Pakting. And yes, I slapped one of Millie's and my stickers up there as well. Time to depart, and we got to walk through the market in Lukla. We got everybody? Did you have a rough day? Lots of shops, and again, places where you could buy things in case you forgot something. But most of anything that you may have forgot could be had at Namche Bazaar. So with Relive, I used it both going up and coming back. And as you can see, that your first day is primarily a descent down to Pakting. We were a little over 4 miles. Took us about 3 hours, and we descended almost 1,000 feet. From here, look at the graph. It shows you nicely with the Garmin of how much descent you had and what kind of terrain you'll be going through. The animals that you see are called dzos, and that's a cross between a cow and a yak. Also, a dzo's horns are pointed forward, where a yak's horns are going to be pointed back. I'd rather upset a yak than a dzo, at least I think I would. But then again, I wouldn't want to upset either. And then all of a sudden, my gosh, it's a Millie sticker. Hello, pup. How's your day? Are you having a good Monday? Okay. Well, have a good evening. The porters that carry gear up and down the trails are just absolute heroes, in my opinion. They get paid by the kilo, and some carry as much as 80 to 100 kilos, which in pounds would be anywhere from 180 to 220 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, our leader, Dawa Sherpa. Thank you very much. Namaste. Namaste. The trip to Pakting, you'll experience your first suspension bridge, and they can be a little bouncy at times.
Who's the best dog?
You tell them. Millie,
Millie.
did you do okay?
Yeah.
Huh? Did you do okay?
I was scaring Abhi. Namaste.
We had a great team. The trip to Pakting, very heavily forested. One of the great things about this trip were the children, and I just absolutely loved seeing all the children. School, they all wore uniforms, and they all greeted you with namaste.
Hey, friend.
Good job. Great job.
Getting the heart rate going.
You think?
Yeah.
Prayer rocks or prayer temples, you always walked around clockwise, so you stayed to the left. Once in Pakting, we got to our tea house, the Snowland Hotel and Lodge, and had a really, really nice room. I was very impressed. So we got to Pakting in this tea house, Snowland Hotel and Lodge. It was just incredible. But, I mean, wood walls, yours truly sleeping bag. I didn't have a roommate, but bathroom, that is the shower. Socks are drying along with a shirt, but everything was really nice. And like I said, wood. Place to hang stuff. And I'm getting ready to head over and have dinner with the crew. So yeah, great place. And this place is classic. Look at the rooms. And then some people are trying to dry things. I don't know. But yeah, room 103, the Sharpie way. Love this place. I highly recommend bringing your own flannel pillowcase. You won't be sorry.
I thought it would be like Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Scrambled eggs. Potatoes. Are you kidding me?
This is the best.
Look at that. Are you happy with your choice?
Yeah, very happy.